Salam and welcome in part number 42 of this Ansari series, where we're looking at the moral and spiritual transformation in Islam by Dr. A.K. Chogli. And these are the works of Dr. Ansari on his lecture tours. And you can get copies of this book from Ahsan Academy of Research and from Shelfcraft, right? So we're looking at the what is Islam? Dr. Ansari is answering the question for us, what is Islam? And as we saw in the previous episode, we have the two extremes of the two various types of societies. The pre-Islamic societies were those to say that to be a good human being, you had to be extreme in religion. That means the whole world is evil. Everything to do with the world is evil. Don't get married because that is evil. You have children, that is evil. To indulge in society, that is evil. Everything to do with society is evil. So just run away to the mountains, or just even if you don't go to the mountains, go sit in a temple or in a church the whole day and just pray your prayer beads and just chant meditation all the time. Chanting. That means forget about everything, forget about the world, because the entire world is evil. That is the extreme way. The opposite of the extreme is the Western culture, which is known as a sensate culture, where everything to do has to do with the pleasure of the body. There's greed for money that makes you happy, greed for drugs and sex and promiscuity and harming others and doing whatever you want to because you got the court system in your pocket. You can get away because on technicalities you get wealthy lawyers and they will get you off scot-free. So that makes you happy. That means you got away with crime. So all of that means God does not exist. They don't believe in spirituality. They don't believe in the soul. They say, no. Religion is only for people with small brains. No, we don't need religion. Only weak people need religion. So this is the extreme view. So on the one hand, we've got the Eastern view. On the other hand, we've got the Western view, where the world is totally absorbed in materialism. But then Islam comes with a beautiful model, which is a middle way. So Islam gives the hybrid model between the two extremes of the East and the West. Islam says, no, don't just become an extremist on religion. And Islam says, don't just become an extremist on materialism, right? And Islam says, don't run away from materialism. And Islam says, don't just absorb yourself in your spirituality. Islam says, take your share of this world and the next world, right? Which Islam says, Rabbana atayna fi dunya hasnato wa fil akhirati hasnato wa qina adhaban nar. Oh Allah, give us that which is good in this dunya. Give us the good of the material dunya, but use it in the right way, and give us the good of the akhirah. And that's why Islam is, we are known as the Ummah al-Wasatan, the middle path. We are the middle nation. We are not extremists. We don't go the extreme. You don't become so religious that you forget everyone. No, on the other hand, you become so loose morals that you don't even remember your creator. So Islam gives us a beautiful model. So let's see what Dr. Ansari now has got to say with regard to what is the message of Islam and what is Islam. So, and we continue with this. So, what is the message of Islam and what is the message that the Holy Prophet ﷺ brought as opposed to these two extreme viewpoints? My conclusion, and this is Dr. Ansari saying, my conclusion is that every teaching that the Holy Prophet ﷺ brought was absolutely unique up to this day, as we see in the Quran in chapter number 87, verses number 18 to 19. And this is in the books of the earliest revelations, the books of Ibrahim and Musa, or Abraham and Moses. However, the Suhuf of Ibrahim and Musa are not in the world anymore. That means their scrolls, their divine scriptures are no longer available. They have been lost to the annals of time. Whereas in contrast, there is the principle of continuity of divine guidance on which the Quran stands. However, when one examines its teachings and the ideals for mankind, you discover the uniqueness of the message of the Quran. For example, how does the Quran define religion? Where do we find the definition of religion? And this is what the Quran says, and please listen to this. This is a definition of religion in the Quran, and this is a definition of a Muslim. So in Surah Al-Imran, in chapter number 3, verse number 83, it says, all that is in the heavens and the earth are Muslim. Isn't that amazing? We thought, no, but isn't Muslim someone who wears a hat and who's got a beard, or wears this long cloak and they got a miswak in the pocket? Isn't that a Muslim? Or isn't a Muslim, are these with this Arab clothing on the head? They got this Arab clothing on the head, like a scarf on the head, or the woman who got a hijab. Isn't that a Muslim? So how can the heavens be a Muslim? How can the earth be a Muslim? How can a planet be a Muslim? How can a star be a Muslim? This is very thought-provoking. See my video on what is a Muslim, where I will explain in detail the entire concept of what it means to be a Muslim. Muslim is someone who submits to the will of the Creator. If the heavens submit to the will of the Creator, they are Muslim. If the earth submits to the will of the Creator, it is a Muslim. Maybe let me just before we go. So Dr. Ansari says all creation submits to Allah involuntarily, but human beings submit to Allah by free choice. The Quran says, "It is He who has created you, and of you some are unbelievers and some are believers." This obligation has been placed upon the human being because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made him the highest in creation and has made him his Khalifa, his vicegerent, his envoy, his ambassador. The human being has to perform certain functions in terms of being his Khalifa fil ard, as his vicegerent on earth. So let's go very briefly again to that phrase which says, all that is in the heavens and on earth are Muslim. I must try and keep a little cloth here. Okay, I found something here. Let's just look very briefly at what is a Muslim. If while I'm trying to do some scribbling here, let me know your thoughts. What is a Muslim? Is a Muslim someone who goes to mosque? Okay, so what is a Muslim? Right? And what is Islam? What is a Muslim? Muslim is anything that submits to the Creator. And let me give you a few examples, right? So let's very simple definition. A Muslim is something or someone who submits. Now, if we say Muslim and we say Islam and we have Salam, right? We have these three words that mean what? It means peace, right? So let me just try and get another pen. Muslim has got three. We have M. Let's start with S, L, and M. Muslim got three words, S, L, M. And Islam got three words, S, L, M. And the word Salam got three words, S, L, M. Right? So Muslim got S, L, M. Islam got S, L, M. Salam got S, L, M. So S, L, M is equal to peace. Right? Let's get that understanding clear. Right. So Muslim got the word SLM, Islam got the word SLM, Salam got the word SLM. So SLM means peace, Salam means peace. How do you get that peace? You get that peace when you're not revolting, right? If you have a volcano is erupting all the time, volcano is not at peace. When the volcano is calm, that's called peace, right? So if you're not at peace, peace is the opposite of chaos. So what a Muslim basically means, it's someone or something, any entity. It's not a human being only. The verse of this Quran says, chapter 3, verse number 83, all that is in the heavens, everything in the heaven is a Muslim, and everything on earth is a Muslim. What it basically means, God most merciful gave the choice of free will to everything in the heavens and the earth. They all refused. What does free will means? God says, I'm going to give you freedom to do what you want to. Do what you want to, but at the end of it, if you make your own decision, if you do make the correct decisions, you will get such a magnificent reward that you can't imagine it. That is a free will. But God says that there's a catch to it. Because you got a free will, you're going to stand in front of me on the day of judgment, and I'm going to ask you questions about everything you did because of the choice of free will. So the heavens refuse it. They say, no, we don't want the free will. The earth refused it. They don't want the free will. The mountains refused it. They don't want the free will. Everybody refused it. The elephants refused it. The lions refused it. The oceans refused it. The rivers refused it. The planets refused it. The stars refused it. The galaxies refused it. The angels, everyone refused it. They said, no, we want to automatically follow your will. We don't want free choice. Meanwhile, a human being was standing there listening, at the back of the class. He's listening to all of these things and he's saying, oh, I'm going to get a very big gift out of this. So the human being foolishly picked up his hand. He said, oh, my Creator, everyone else wants to deny. They don't want this free choice. He picks up his hand. We mankind, foolish mankind. The Quran says we are so foolish, right? We picked up our hand. He said, okay, I want the free will. And because of that, we are in problems. But the advantage of the free will, you can get a magnificent gift at the end of it. But the free will means what? Free will means you have a choice. You can believe in God or you can refuse to believe in Him. So free will means you have a choice. It means you have a choice. But not having a free will means you don't no choice. So everything in the heavens and the earth, if you don't have a choice, you have no choice, you got to submit to the will of the Creator. Submission to the will of the Creator. Submission. And here you got a choice. So the heavens and the earth said, we don't want a choice to submit. We want you, the creator. We want you to program us in our body, mind, body, and soul. Give us a computer chip that we must follow you whether we like it or not. So the heavens are a Muslim because they are following the creator. Right? So let me just stop there again. So the everything in the heavens and the earth, because they did not want this free will, they are now automatically submitting their desire to the desire of the creator without a choice. They will never ever go against the will of the creator, never. And that is why they are at peace and harmony. Whereas human beings have a choice. Human beings said, okay, I can refuse God, I can disobey God. I can obey God or I can disobey God. It's my free will. Nobody else has got a free will. Now, what this simply means in simple terms, if the planet Earth is spinning 24 hours a day, it is a Muslim because it is obeying the command of its creator. The creator said, oh planet Earth, you must spin like a top 24 hours a day. So as long as the planet Earth is spinning 24 hours a day, it is submitting its will to the will of the creator, and that is why the planet Earth is a Muslim. The day the planet Earth stops spinning, then what's going to happen? Half the planet will be ice cold, half the planet will be boiling hot. Then it is no longer a Muslim because now it is revolting against the command of the creator. So anytime you revolt against the command of the creator, you get chaos, you get disharmony. Next example, the moon is a Muslim because the moon goes through phases. It goes through quarter, half, three-quarter, and then it goes to a full moon. Then it comes three-quarter, half, and then it disappears again. So as long as the moon goes regularly, going through the various phases every month, then human beings on earth can see the phases of the moon and they can measure the calendar according to it. But the day the moon decides that, you know what, I don't want to go through these phases, I will just be bright throughout the year. Then human beings, so if the moon decides to go against the will of the creator, to say, I don't want all these phases, the moon is no longer a Muslim. So as long as the moon goes through the phases, it is a Muslim. That means it has submitted its will to the divine will. But the day the moon stops, is bright throughout the year, or the moon decides, I want to be dark throughout the year, what happens? You have chaos. So once again, if you're a Muslim, there's harmony in the universe. If you're not a Muslim, if the moon is not a Muslim, there will be chaos on earth. Right. Second example. Third example. The lion has submitted its will to the creator. The creator has created the lion to eat meat. The lion is a carnivore. So as long as the lion is eating meat, it is a Muslim because the lion is submitted its will to the divine will and is saying, I will only eat meat, and then there will be peace in everywhere and there won't be any problems for the lion because it is submitted its will to the creator. So as long as the lion is eating meat, it is a Muslim. But let us say the lion goes to the doctor and the doctor says, hey, Mr. Lion, you're eating too much red meat. Your cholesterol is very high. I'm now going to give you a strict diet. I'm going to say you must stop all red meat. You must just now go and eat Greek salad every day. So a lion goes home and he tells his wife and his cubs to go in the African jungle and he says, you know what? The doctor said my cholesterol is very high. I must stop eating meat. So the lion stops eating meat. The lion just eats vegetables all the time. Greek salad, feta cheese, olives every day. What happens? Eventually the lion becomes sick, he becomes weak, and then he dies. Why? Because the lion has disobeyed the creator. So as long as the lion eats meat, it is a Muslim and everything goes well. But the day the lion disobeys God and becomes a vegetarian instead of a carnivore, then you get chaos. The lion then dies. Final example, when we had this mad cow disease a few years ago, I don't know when it was, it is neuroencephalopathic spongy-encephalopathy, something like that, right? Spongy-encephalopathy, where the whole brain becomes mush. What happened there? A cow is a vegetarian. A cow only eats grass. So the people in the material world, because they're in greed for money, they say, you know what, we can get more bigger cows if we give them protein. Let's give them meat. Because if we give the cows meat, they become more bulky and they become stronger. We can get more money out of it. But as long as a cow is a vegetarian, it is a Muslim. So what these people did not realize, they started feeding the cow proteins. What they did, they took bones from other animals, which is meat. They grinded the bones and they put it as part of the food for the cows. Yes, the cows became stronger. They started getting more money. But what happened? it started affecting the brains of the cow. It became known as bovine spongiform angioencephalopathy, something like that. Also went to humans as well. What's it? Brooks-Jacobs disease? I can't remember these medical terms. Right, so what happens? You had chaos. We had chaos throughout the world. Why? Because they wanted to make a vegetarian animal into a carnivore. So what happened? The day the cow started eating meat, it was no longer a Muslim. When it was no longer a Muslim, there was chaos. Now, so remember, in simple terms, if you submit your world to the Creator, you are a Muslim. So as long as the planet is spinning, it is a Muslim. The day it stops spinning, it is not a Muslim. There's disharmony. As long as the waterfall is flowing, it is a Muslim. The day the waterfall stops flowing, it is no longer a Muslim. Right? In simple terms, human beings have a choice. They have a choice. Do I submit my world to the Creator Supreme? If you submit your free world to the Creator Supreme, you are a Muslim. And then you are in harmony with the rest of the universe. Then you are at peace. You are at harmony with the rest of the universe. But the day you go against the will of the Creator, you are in disharmony. So a person who is not a Muslim, he is in disharmony with the rest of the universe. And that is why Muslim says we are in a state of peace. Why? Because Islam is the way to show you how to get to peace. And Muslim is in a state of peace. Why? Because a Muslim is in a state of peace because he has submitted his free will to the divine will. So he is in a state of peace. And the greeting of a Muslim is peace. It is salam. And Muslim is the one who has submitted his will, and that is why he's in a state of peace. And Islam is the way that shows you how to be in harmony with the rest of the universe, because the Quran says everything in the heavens and the earth are Muslim. Final example, and we'll end today's session with what is a Muslim. If you look at an animal, and the Quran talks about horses, the wild horses that are running. If you look at a wild horse in the wild horse is running. Looks absolutely magnificent. Imagine a wild stallion running around the mountains, running down the savannah. But what is the wild horse doing? He's not unleashing his potential. He's just running. The only thing that animal is doing is procreating, is having a little bit ponies. He meets his wife now and then. He has a little bit baby horses. That's all his function. He eats and has sex. He eats and he has sex. That's all he is. But a horse, that's a horse who's doing his own free will. But a horse is like a Muslim. Like a human being, you'll be running wild. But the day you find Islam, then you said, okay, now you are taming yourself. You are no longer a wild human being. You are now controlling your ego. You are controlling your horse. It's like how you are taming a horse. So instead of being a wild horse, you now become a horse where the master is now riding you. You say, go right, you go right. Go left, you go left. And in the old days, 100 years ago, there were no motor cars. So the doctors, how did they go to the patients? They used to jump onto the horse and they used to ride with the doctor's bag. And they say that woman is going to give birth. And that horse will wake up in the morning. The horse won't say, hey, you know what, I need breakfast before I go ride. No, the horse will say, if that doctor, my master is sitting on me, he says I must run because the patient needs me. I need to deliver that baby 2 o'clock in the morning. That horse will start galloping without breakfast. It will start galloping and then he'll bring the doctor there. He'll deliver the patient. That means that's an obedient horse. And that is a Muslim as well. And similarly, the example the Islam gives us, the horse will go even into warfare because the master is telling you must go into that. And horses are very, very skittish. But this is what Islam teaches us, that a horse is a magnificent animal. But a wild horse looks beautiful, but its life is very empty. Whereas a horse that is tame now becomes an animal that is useful and beneficial to humanity. And that is the same with a Muslim or a human being. A human being that does not have the Quran, a human being that does not know who is the Creator, because the Creator is your master. Your master must now tell you which way to go. Your master is there. Initially, you will resist to say, no, I don't want to be trained. I don't want to submit. Why must I submit? But you don't realize it's for your benefit. Similarly, when a baby has to be born, the mother goes through pain. To get a beautiful product at the end, you've got to go through that pain. Final example, every human being is a diamond. And to polish that diamond, you got to go through trials and tribulations and tests in life. So Islam says the way to submit your will, because God in His mercy knows that you are a diamond. So when He puts you through the test, He is polishing you to unleash that beautiful potential within you, to make you better than another human being, to make you better, to unleash that potential inside you, so you don't harm humanity. You don't invade countries. You don't bomb nations. You be a good human being. You be a good nation, to be a sterling example for all of humanity. Not only for all of humanity, but the aliens that are watching us to say, wow, look at these magnificent human beings. At the moment, no alien will come to Earth. They say, no, we are too barbaric. We are killing one another. We must unleash that angelic qualities within us, because God in His mercy says, I've given a decision. You can choose the decision to make. You can fly higher than the angels, or you can fall lower than the worst beast on the planet Earth. And that is basically a Muslim, someone who has submitted his will to the divine will. So a Muslim is not just a human being who's got a beard or a niqab. That's not a Muslim. A Muslim is even the planets. The planet, our Milky Way galaxy, as long as our solar system, our star and the planets take 240,000 years to go around the Milky Way galaxy. So as long as our sun is going 240,000 years, it goes once. That is 1 year for our star. Then it is a Muslim. But if our sun stops spinning, it is no longer a Muslim. So I hope that clarifies it. Stay well, look after yourself. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ameen Ya Rabbil Alameen.